So moving on back to D23 in live action, The Little Mermaid. I assume you've probably seen that teaser.
I have.
Yeah, and you know, Little Mermaid live action remake starring Halle Berry. I said Halle Berry. Halle Bailey. Haley Berry. Is it Haley?
I don't know. I definitely
I think
misread it
it's
as Holly Berry every
yeah.
time I
Every
see it.
time I see it, I say Halle Berry, and it's not Halle Berry. It's Haley Bailey. I hope that's how it's pronounced. It might be Holly, but Haley Bailey. And as you can imagine, a lot of racists came out the woodworks in droves. And
Oh
there,
yeah, they're big mad.
yeah, so there is a pattern of redheaded characters being played by black people in live action, which I admit is kind of weird. I don't know why that happens so often, but
Mm,
I feel like that is worth a discussion because it does happen a lot. But
right.
also, all those characters are characters whose race aren't important to their story. And it's not like black people can't also like have red hair, like Haley Bailey does in this. Haley Bailey just sounds weird to say out loud. I hope
Yeah.
Haley Bailey. Um, but the crux of the discussion is if race isn't important to a character's story, it shouldn't matter if their race is changed. For those who call it a double standard, the reason it matters if it's done to a person of color character whose race isn't important to the story is because in that specific case, it would be taking the representation that race has away from them. So if you're trying to change a black, Asian, Latino, whatever character to a white character, you're taking away a little bit of representation that character already has in Western media.
Right.
Whereas if you take a white character and make them any other race, there are still a lot of other white characters for people to relate to. So
Right.
yeah, but the end is on a good note. I have not cared about any of the live action remakes except for Aladdin because Aladdin's one of my favorite Disney movies. Um,
Hmm.
but this one, I don't dislike Little Mermaid. I just don't really care about it. But this
Right.
movie,
Right.
I actually want to watch, and
Ooh.
part of that is due to the fact that the main character is being played by a black woman, and that just goes to show that representation matters. Because just that little bit of representation made me go, I want to check this movie out.
Seems
And
neat.
I saw a
I've never really. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've never really been a big Disney person. I'm gonna be real. I know some people are like, "Oh my gosh, Disney is my entire life." I've just never been that kind of person. But I also am like at least semi interested in this movie because, again, like you said, representation matters. It's cool to see Ariel be black. And mostly I want to watch it and see it do well. So the people who are like, "Oh, race doesn't matter for a character," I want to see them get big mad when it succeeds.
Yeah,
Basically.
I saw a thread on Twitter of like a bunch of black parents recording their children reacting to the teaser, and I
Mm,
couldn't help but smile ear to ear. Like the kids were so happy. But
right.
yeah, like you said, I hope it's good, and I hope it's a first step in Disney actually making good live action remakes. Because I don't feel like they're impossible to do. I just feel like they just haven't been putting in enough effort to make them good. But also, I feel
Right.
like something that they should start doing with these is stop copying them, like like word for word, and just make a almost completely different story. I honestly would prefer
Right.
that because what's the point of telling the exact same story that you already told in animation? You should take it and do something new and different. I think it's weird that every time they do these things, it's the exact same story but in live action, which is, um, depending on you ask, I would say worse because I feel like it's better in animation. So
Right.
if you're gonna do it different.
And it's like with Ariel, there's so much potential to do like different stuff.
Yeah,
But
especially with her story, which is basically her changing herself like a man. Like you could make a really interesting story, like turning that on its head.
right.
But we'll see what they do. I doubt. I'm sure it's just gonna be another carbon copy,
Yeah.
which will suck. I'll probably
Knowing
still.
Disney.
Yeah,